I think you basically need communications. You need to communicate with the residents the long-term benefit of doing a long-term plan that's more resilient, sturdier, and just be able to, sell that. And you also need to educate your community that it's not going to be done overnight. Things like this, or a lot of these things are 10-year projects, and they need to be patient. They need to find different ways to drive from point A to point B until this bridge is rebuilt. And so it's just, having lots of community meetings, showing what the plans are, having coffee with council, answering questions. I think it just comes down to communication and just trying to be as honest and straightforward with the citizens as you possibly can. But also, don't back it down from being visionary.
Yeah, and I guess my advice would be, make sure you've hired the right people, listen to them, and then get out of their way and let them do it. And have patience, because this is a process that, we're still not done. And if you look at it as, oh my gosh, what are we going to do to fix this tomorrow? You're going to get swamped. The problems that we had after the flood were so big that we didn't even know how to get it all done. But we knew how to start. You had good staff. They told us what to do. We approved it. And we started going after federal and state dollars. We started talking to citizens, making lists and deadlines and timelines. And just every day, including today and tomorrow, we just kind of nibble away at it until hopefully at some point we're finished.
This
before the next
whole
flood.
process kind of reminds me of Carmel, Indiana, where the mayor there started, 20 years ago, the idea to build roundabouts, replacing all the lighted intersections with these roundabouts. And I think they nicknamed them Mayor Roundabout. But, you go there now and all of this, it's my easiest driving city. And what it's done is they've got this data that shows, once people learn how to drive through roundabouts, their traffic accidents, plummeted by 75%. And, basically a well-designed roundabout, you can move, 3 or 4 times the amount of traffic as a lighted intersection. And it's like, and they put in bike paths. And it's just amazing when someone has a long-term vision. And, it takes 20 years to do it. But the results are just strictly phenomenal. And that's what I like about this town is, we have vision. We decided we're going to put in this gigabit fiber. And, we knew we were going to be successful because we know how to do things long-term and provide benefit to our citizens. And so I'm just really proud of the city, and I'm proud that I had an opportunity to serve with, all my council members and my friendships that we had. It was just an amazing experience. And, I'm glad I'm not mayor anymore, but
yeah, I was waiting for that one.
But it was fun. It really was fun.
You'd better have the right people in place, and they better have an emergency plan, because had Longmont not been able to literally in a matter of hours set up a command center and with the push of a button communicate to, how many employees do we have? 700, 800,
yeah.
And immediately tell everyone it's now time to do what we've trained for. Had that not happened,
we would have had loss of life.
We would have had loss of life.
Yeah.
We would have had more intense property damage. For example, somebody jumped. We have a tenuous relationship with a city, with a company here in town that does skydiving. Oh, you're too noisy, or oh, you take over the airport. Even that relationship, they volunteered to make their planes accessible, and instead of taking up skydivers, they took up city officials, and they saw the floodwaters coming. Literally the flash flood coming, and we were able to take action as a result. So you'd better have a plan, and you'd better have the relationships, and you'd better have that staff in place, or else people are going to die.
And it's good for communities to have relationships with nearby communities too, because you need to help out each other and figure out, because if one community is hit, the other community is responsible for finding places for them to live. And
Was that an informal relationship, or did you have like mutual aid compacts between the communities?
Well, we do have mutual aid contracts, but this was more informal.
Yeah, I mean, as mayors, we belong to. I mean, like for example, there's all kinds of groups. You know,
Yeah.
the mayors and commissioners committee, which is made up of mayors of
In the metros area.
you know or the Metro Mayors Caucus or NADA, which is the
Northern.
anyway, it's a northern transportation conglomerate that a city council member goes to. So we are always interacting, and it's important that you have good relationships. Again, even if you don't agree politically on things, thank goodness the local level is not the national,
Right.
not the national the daycare center that it appears to be. Because if you don't have relationships with people, and if you don't look past the partisanship, again, in terms of flood mitigation and flood preparation, if you are focusing on national issues because it's fun and sexy, and you ignore your flood preparation, you and your family are going to hurt when that time comes, because it's going to come.